Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to the Wrath of Aquarius podcast. I am joined here with guest
Donna Burawa.
And we are here to talk about some crazy shit that I was talking about with John the other day, and it was literally just blowing our minds so much. And I'll talk to Donna about this because it was literally just like I had to ground myself because of how insane I was getting. I was literally I don't even know how to explain it. I was like,
I'm nervous. I have not a single clue what you're gonna say.
Yeah, okay, I'll go off with the lighter one first. I have two things.
Okay.
So, what if one thing, it goes into like the weird simulation and matrix type theory about life. I was telling John, what if that society was a weird matrix that everybody had to everybody had to go through and hit a specific amount of things that they had to acquire and achieve before they got to an official status that they got to an elite status, say Post Malone, for example. He was a normal person, then he became a famous musician, and then he got out of the matrix. But what if the matrix was when you got to that specific part, the government's oh, you got to this specific level, now you get to live outside of this matrix. You don't have to worry about all that bullshit money, working 9 to 5, blah 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 blah.
So who is setting the quota for breaking the matrix? And that just has me fucked up, because if the government is setting when these people can be quote unquote freed, how free are they really if they're becoming slaves to the media?
It's an illusion. That's what it is. It's
because it's they're saying that is where you want to be. This is the peak of being successful, human nature, mankind, this is where you want to be. They've achieved it. How fucked for someone to quantify that?
Yeah.
So it's the life we're living right now means shit. Means absolute dog shit.
But the thing was, what I was thinking was, what if this matrix that we're living in is an evolution matrix? It's supposed to keep evolving people to become the pinnacle of their success, and then once they achieve that, then they're able to also break out of the matrix.
Do you think anyone has made it that far? Who would you... I want you to
famous
make
people.
A chart of
famous
your
people.
rankings of which famous people have broken the matrix.
Or
others.
fucking Or
Oprah
people,
Winfrey supersedes
not only,
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, no. I don't mean I was right about to say not celebrities. I mean celebrities as an example. People with a lot of money in businesses and stuff like that. Also,
oh, okay.
People who influence things with money and have a lot of money and all that stuff. Once you acquire a certain amount of money, I feel then it gets rid of specific amounts of problems, and then you gotta move on to another.
Don't die, know it.
Yeah, it's that's what I feel it is. It's everybody keeps it's all set to keep making you evolve and evolve and evolve, and you always get to this one specific set of problems, and then you keep going up to it, and then you know what, I guess the universe is has a specific thing that it wants you to achieve, and you got to keep doing it and then try to achieve that thing, and then once you achieve it, you're able to break out or something.
So if this is something you think is true, that means that you think fate and destiny aren't real. Unless people's destiny could be to never make it to that point through the matrix. But if you're saying that they have a choice to break through and get that, so then...
But wouldn't fate and destiny be the goal? But wouldn't fate and destiny be the goal that the universe is trying to establish in order for you to achieve?
I would say fate and destiny is what you do achieve. I would say that's the truth, what actually happens. It's just a truth that you have no control over.
Yeah. So what if this is all set up?
The Matrix is something that you can break. Thereby it was your choice. Therefore there's willpower.
Yeah. No
fate.
It's interesting, because, what if that, if we didn't act, what if that we just automatically go into this, say, in certain, like, video games or, like, movies, like, it can go, like, one direction, but then you also have, like, another, like, thing to be like, oh, this is the alternate ending. But, like, if you don't fuck with anything, then you get the generic ending. So, like, what if life's like that? Like, what if, like, you live life and you just get, if you don't, like, have your own willpower, you don't have your own, like, passions or drives or anything, you just get this one generic ending that everybody has, you know?
You literally never know, because there's no ways that you can relive your life from certain points on. And sometimes I wish I could get a glimpse, like, how different would my life be today if I said yes or no 7 years ago on this day to this person? And where I'd be today. Like, it could be little things, too. Like, what job I got, which year, what sports teams, what friends, what people I dated. Anything. You don't know just how much that affects your day. It's like the episode... Actually, it's that movie Bandersnatch, like, through Black Mirror.
Yeah.
And you can choose what music he listens to on the bus, and it's like, did that really set the tone for the decision he made later?
It really does, because music affects your vibes.
And I want to know how they programmed that. Like, I feel like I need to talk to the people who produced that show and edited that. Because how do they know which scenes to reroute to? Like, what are they thinking?
It's a lot of fucking planning.
When they think that a certain action that the viewer made affects a scene, like, did it actually affect the scene for the viewer? Or was the next scene going to play either way?
Yeah,
and
like, what if it was just a placebo effect? Yeah.
Why are you going back to that scene?
Interesting.
Like, what was their logic? I feel like they might know a little bit about this. They know what's up. The people who make that show, honestly, brilliant, but terrifying, and they seem like they could be true.
Mm-hmm. I think the main guy who was writing Black Mirror said that he needed to stop for a little bit because, like, the show was becoming too fucking real. And he's like, I need to take a break. And he's like, this is becoming fucking freaky.
And he's like, this too much.
Yeah, because, like, at a point, it's like, it's like, is life just, it's like, are you mirroring life or is life mirroring you? And that's what freaks me the fuck out. It's like, what am I thinking things and then they, like, come to life? Like, because that happens sometimes. I'm like, is that just coincidence or is that, like, I actually have, like, a power to do that? It's like, what the fuck? It's like when you, like, say, like, say, like, the guy from Black Mirror, like, when he writes things, like, is he altering the universe because he's writing that and manifesting that into this world? Or... like,
I would hate that. I hope that's not true.
Or, like, life is just, like, kind of happening like that and he's just reflecting it. Like, you know?
Is there any other option that we're not thinking of? Because I feel like if humans are really this self-aware, it's like, then why don't we take measures to prevent that problem? Or why don't we do more research into it? Like, I feel like we've done so much already. Is there another option we don't know about?
The middle option.
We'll literally never know because we'll never get to experience it. And if we do experience it, we'll never know that we're experiencing it. We could be having a moment right now that someone else would want to figure out what happened in this time. And they'll never know because I never got to live this life we're living right now. See, the thing is, I keep on, like, you know how people always, like, grass is always greener on the other side?
Mm.
I get like that, but with, like, parallel universes. I'm like, what if there's another universe where, like, I was this person or I did that instead? And it's like, I'm that universe for someone else of myself.
Yeah, isn't that freaky?
We keep on thinking this is the primary universe.
Yo, you just fucking, like, hold on, you just, like, you just got me. That's crazy. That's fucking wild. It's like, we are so, because that's the whole, like, thinking that the Earth is in the middle of the universe thing. It's like we're thinking that we're in the center of everything. But it's like we're just
primary,
like, no. It's like, yeah, we're thinking that we're always the primary thing. But that's also just because that we don't know any better. We don't have any more knowledge that would make us reflect on ourselves, you know?
Humans are selfish. Like, why wouldn't we think that other universes would just be different from ours? Like, we really need to look at it from the perspective of our universe is just different to theirs as theirs is to ours. We're not the primary universe. We're their other tangent universe. A different reality where things are slightly changed.
It's true. It's, like, so fucking weird.
So that confirms aliens, maybe, because maybe they're in these alternate realities. Like, the people are so different. Like,
yo,
like, what's happening?
Speaking of
how
aliens,
different are these other universes, you know? Like, why would they all be about humans with this evolution just making slightly different choices, like what they had for breakfast? Like, we could be entirely different beings, and that could be the changed aspect between the universes. We could be, like, so far removed off the beaten path. Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
There's so much that we need to unpack.
I was fucking talking to John about, like, yo, what if that, like, we met another alien race, and I was like, what if that, like, put us, like, a lot of things in perspective of, like, what our main purpose here on, like what our purpose here is in general. Because I was like, what if that other species have a different purpose because they were in a different location of the universe and made up of different things, you know?
Yeah, for real. Like, do you think dogs wanted to be born subservient to humans? Like,
yeah, like...
Is their purpose just to entertain us on Earth and do some chores?
No, like, I feel like that... Because, like, what if that, like... On, like, another alien race that, like, they, like, purely exist just to, like, operate the sun or something like that, and then the sun, like, also, like... And the sun also, like, gives them a specific benefit as well. So, like, you know, like...
ecosystems
and then we meet,
within the universe that we don't know about is what you're saying.
Yeah, like, what if, like, we have, like, some specific, like, part that we need to play that we're not really playing, that we're not really too aware of, you know?
I hope that there would be checks and balances and we would figure that out.
Yeah, because I feel like that if we, like, meet another alien race, then, like, that would, like, amplify our perspective more because we're seeing someone else's perspective and then, like, we're having, like, a contrast, you know?
We would be aware of an imbalance.
Yeah, because, like, you know, like, sometimes, like, when you're, like, trapped in a situation and you get so caught up in it, and then, like, you talk to somebody, and then, like, they just, like, kind of, like, clarify everything, and it makes more sense. You're like, oh, shit. You're like, I didn't see it that way. So then, like, what if it's like that when you meet another alien race, and then, like, that happens with us, and we're like, we talk to them, and they're like, oh, our purpose is blah, 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 and then we're like, oh, wait, maybe our purpose is da-da-da-da-da, you know? We just haven't had that contrast to see it.
If that'll ever happen. That's crazy. I think we talk about this a lot, but I was telling someone else, I randomly hit up my friend, and I texted him, and I was like, okay, so aliens definitely exist. I was saying that even before the fucking White House was like, yes, we've seen UFOs. Like, we know they exist. We're not stupid. But whatever they are, they want nothing to do with us, because I feel like they would have the means to do whatever they wanted to do. So I feel like that meetup that you're talking about, never gonna happen. Like, there's no way they don't have access to what we're thinking, to reading minds in general. They could literally come to Earth at any point in time. They could obliterate us. I think that they just might want to watch us. Like, we're literally a Sims game to God, to the aliens. I'm like, I feel like they're eons above us and they watch us. Because if they're able to do it, we know what they can do so far. Who knows what they're capable of? And clearly they're capable of a lot, because they easily could have ended us all. If we could easily end each other on Earth,
I feel like they stopped it, though. I feel like I feel like, you know, like, when we look at indigenous tribes, and then we're like, yo, don't fuck with them. I feel like that's how they look at us. We're like...
You think we're a force to be reckoned with? We would ruin our own planet, because they would fight on Earth.
No, I feel like that,
unless
no, like, I feel like that they're just, like,
paves the way for us going to them.
No, I feel like they're just, like, don't fuck with their evolutionary track, because then it might, like, you need to, like, have them evolve on their own. Because I feel like that if they, like, if they intervene, then some shit might get fucked up, you know?
Do you think we'd ever evolve to be on their level?
Yeah, eventually. I think that maybe they just have, like, some boundaries set up, and then, like, they're just like, oh, let's let them, like, naturally, like, evolve, I guess. But then, like, if they get too out of hand, then, like, we have, like, these parameters, like, just in case, because, like, if they do get too out of hand, then it could spill out into the universe and, like, fuck over everybody else, so, like, it'll become too much of a problem. Because I feel like there could be a fucking, like, some fucking federation of aliens. Like, if, like, there was some higher... I feel like there's, like, multiple different types of aliens with different mindsets. Like, ones that want peace, ones that want nothing to do with anything, and ones that want to destroy shit.
Probably.
And then there's, like, different... like,
if they have the same human tendencies, then
yes.
yeah.
Because, yeah. Yeah, well, I guess that's so implying that if they're also human, and... But maybe they are. Like, what if everything is just, like, in this universe is, like, derived off a human, but it's just, like, how on Earth is, you know, like, we're on different climates. Like, we're all, like, humans, but, like, we all are different because of different, like, geography placements.
Same common
that we had to adapt to.
ancestor.
Yeah, same common ancestor, but just a different version of human, you know? We're all the same, but just a different, like, version. But what if that is on a grander scale in the universe with aliens? It's like we're all humans in the universe, but because of where we are in the universe, we just look different. But we're all from the same thing.
Exactly, based on the needs of our atmosphere. Like, we can never survive on another planet's atmosphere, but for ours, we're perfect.
Yeah.
Another thing I don't
we
get
adapt to this planet, so we're perfect for it. So we can coexist.
Huh. Interesting.
What were you saying now?
I just don't get, like, thinking back to, like, the Bible and how things allegedly began with Adam and Eve. If they had to populate the earth, that means that technically, like, everyone should have been, like, a fucked up baby because they're all so inbred.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
I talked to someone who also said that, and he,
how
like,
can
called
we
out,
have-
like, his, like, church about it, and then they were all like, oh. And they're like, I don't want to talk about it, and I'm like, yo, but that's such a plot hole, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are we all inbreds then?
I guess, but if you're so far off, maybe you have less illnesses or something.
I don't know.
It's like we've been breeding for I don't know how many years and generations, but maybe this is a good generation to, like, maybe that's why there's a lot of, like, fucked up people before us. Because they were born fucked up, and now that we're eons ahead of that.
Inbreds, and then we're saying, yeah, okay.
We become slightly less inbred every year.
Yes.
The branch becomes further.
Every generation
further
we
out.
become less inbred. But, okay, so Donna is saying that every generation before us is inbred troglodytes, and we are the superior.
More superior, but our children are going to be more superior than us.
Yeah, every generation evolves.
Mm-hmm. Further and further away.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's fucking dope.
I'm like, how can you believe that? That's what, like, I really want to hear, like, y'all Adam and Eve folk to tell me what's up, because I don't believe it for a second.
Do you believe that theory that Adam and Eve were wait, did we talk about this last podcast that, like, they're like people from Mars and they just ejected themselves onto Earth to replay it?
I think you might have been talking about that.
Yeah, and then you, like, fell asleep, I think, maybe. I don't even fucking know.
Oh, I just know that wasn't my thought. This doesn't feel like it's a brand new thought to me, but I know it's not my thought.
Maybe
that sounds very much like something you said, went off on a tangent about, and I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Okay.
I was
maybe
like implanted
I think, yeah.
from Mars. I was like, she.
No, yeah, definitely. I've probably talked about it before. But yeah, that could be, I don't know, because there's so many different, like, things that just, like, talk about, like, previous life on Mars. It's like, why Mars? It's like, why can't it be anything else? Like, why can't it be Mercury? Why can't it be fucking, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's always Mars.
True.
It's like, why Mars?
Trash.
Because, like, you know, like, when, like, some things just, I don't know, it's just like, but why is it? It could be anything. Why focus on that?
Yeah.
I know, that's when, like, my alarms, like, go off. I'm like, note that. I'm like, weird. Because I feel like that people are just going to go to Mars and then they're going to see, like, all these ancient civilization shit, and then it's just going to be ancient humans.
Damn.
And then we're going to finally find out, like...
Why didn't the Mars rover find that?
Yeah, but, like, what if the government already found that out? And, like, when they did that, they won't tell the public.
True, they literally select the information that we know.
Yeah.
But, like, what if we had some narcs on the government? Like, it's such a fun job to have if you get to know, like, confidential shit. Why wouldn't you want to narc out people to your friends and family? Like, there's definitely people that know.
Yeah, it's like, why would you want to, like, keep your mouth shut?
For
But you gotta, like, sign waivers to, like, not, like, say shit.
Oh, fuck.
So I think, like, if you
And
do
if
talk
someone
about
has
it, it's, like,
loose lips,
illegal.
you're
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, it's, like, illegal. I think that, if you, like, spread that information, if you have that classified information, you tell your friends and family about it, you could probably go to jail. Because it's also the thing, it's, like, you can't really spread that information out because it could also get to other countries, and then those other countries could also use it as fucking to get you vulnerable and shit like that. So it's like, I understand. I was talking to John about this as well. We were talking about, like, different dimensions and shit like that. Like, you know how, like when you go smaller, like, there's, like, different, like, microorganisms and you get bigger. Like, you know, like when you get, like, bigger, like, more far out of the solar system, like, everything gets, like, smaller and smaller, but, like, things get bigger. I said, like, Earth in comparison to the sun is, like a little bit, and then there's, like, bigger suns than the sun, and it makes all of us look small, and then, like, all that shit. So it's, like, what if, like, those are, like, different dimensions, like, the different sizes and shit? So I'm just, like, what if it keeps going out and out and out and out? So then, like, as it keeps going out,
like a Russian doll, or like a tangent to one another?
Yeah, like everything, like, he's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, or, like, smaller, like, vice versa. So I'm like, what if on little microorganisms and stuff like that, like, we keep going in more microscopically? Like, what if it keeps going and going and going and going, and then there's, like, a whole other, like, civilization that is, like, humans living on that thing, you know? And then you keep going smaller than them, and then they have the same thing there. But, like, as we keep going out, like, who's to say that, like, there's not another whole civilization, like, above us? And then, like, you know, as you keep going out. So, like, what if we are the little people on the microorganism to something else? And I'm like, what if that's God?
God is the next step?
God is in the next dimension that's bigger than us, and he could literally, like microorganisms, look at us and literally see everything, hear everything, know everything that's going on, because it's easier for him, because he's like a huge ass fucking scientist dude looking at us under a microscope, you know?
So we're just this fucking little project.
He's just like, he's just like microorganisms. He's probably like looking at us like through a little microscope.
Damn, that means he had to create everything he's looking at in front of him.
So I'm like, maybe, like, what if that's it?
So he can change our state at any point in time.
Yeah, it's up to him or whatever he wants to do.
Cooking us? Like, global warming sucks, bro. Take the magnifying glass away. Stop burning us.
That's funny.
He could literally just add a drop of water to our earth, and he chooses not to. That's all I have to say, is, like, if people think that there is a God that has control over things, he must not.
But what if he did do that, and that's the flood?
Or, oh my god.
And that was the flood of Noah's Ark or whatever.
Oh my god. Because it's like, why doesn't he interfere with certain things? Like, is this what he wanted for us, or is he just bored, or really, can he really not do anything about it? Like,
yeah, what
why
if he
is
can't?
he deciding to affect the things that he is?
Or what if he interferes, he'll fuck up the natural ecosystem that he put in place?
Maybe.
But, like, it's just like,
weird
then how
to
do
think
you
that
balance
he could fuck
out
up his
that?
own shit. Like, if he made it, how can he fuck it up? You would think.
Or maybe that he made it that it's like, it's supposed to be self-sustaining, and then it fucked it up itself. And he can't interfere because it'll maybe fuck it up even more. And it has to naturally evolve and fucking
So he wants things to
itself.
take their course. So basically, there is no such thing as fate and destiny in this solution either. Because God would have decided for them. God is standing back, and now we know that fate and destiny aren't real. We have control over our lives. Why don't I just find some peace in that?
Yeah,
I feel like
because we do. It's self-empowering.
Because the thing is, if everything was predetermined,
God wants us to figure it out for ourselves.
like, he wouldn't want us to figure it out for ourselves.
Yo, wait, but what if that's just the freedom of will? It's just like he just like created, like God would just create us just to like, for us to choose what we want to do with the life that he gave us, pretty much. Because there's like a...
Like, he chooses certain things. It's like he customizes a character and then he sends it out into the world. It's like...
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you figure it out.
This Sim, who is really creative, but really talkative and really, like, clumsy. Like, how would they interact in the world? And then he just, like, assigns all these random traits to all us random Sims. And then we just, like, go live our lives. But he had shit predetermined. And, like, we make the rest of it. The best of the rest of it.
Yeah. There's a... I think it's the Gnostics. They say that God is like pretty much like really like cool and shit like that, and he's like very like a human. You know, like he's like subjugated
we would be
to
a
human
reflection
things.
of him.
Yeah,
so he would have to have the same character traits.
Yeah, since we're created in the reflection of God.
Yeah.
But they were also saying that God created 95% of the universe and left 5% for humans to like create. It's like up to us of what we want to like create with the rest of it. Like he made like the basis of the world, and then he's just like, okay, now you guys
fuck it up.
Figure it out yourselves.
We fucked it up is what we did.
Yeah, maybe.
Or we are fucking it up.
I feel like we can evolve from it. But I feel like that also God maybe also went to another universe and made like more us's.
He left our sim world and he opens up another profile and...
We're just Sims. Wait. You know how like we're in like the 3rd dimension, 4th dimension, 5th dimension and shit?
What if we're just Sims 3?
We're just Sims 3, bro. And then he went into the other part of the universe and made Sims 4. And then, and then he added little DLC. Sims.
Create new game.
Yeah. Everything that happens in this world is just a DLC of Sims.
Confirmed. I feel like every time I'm like saying hypotheticals, I'm like, I really don't know if like there's willpower or fate, but I feel like today, like for a fact, it's willpower. Like I feel like that's what I learned here today. There's no way things are fate and destiny. Like, why would God choose this? Like, why the fuck would he plan out everyone's individual life? How fun is that to watch? He's just gonna watch things go as planned? When is that ever exciting? If you watched a movie and someone spoiled the whole thing, why would you go and see it?
It's like, why? What's the point? It's like, unless that he needs to just see it for himself.
I feel at peace.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if I fucked up, that's on me.
Yeah, everything is on you. It's like, you are here for your own purpose and what you want, and you are in control. It's like everything, it's like, I feel like if you talk to God and be like, what is my purpose? And he'll literally just look at you and probably be like, well, what do you feel like that your purpose is?
He'll chuckle and be like, bitch, look in the mirror and ask yourself, I'm a reflection of you.
No, exactly. That's
period.
No, you're literally right.
Look at the mirror and tell yourself, because if I'm your reflection, when you talk to your reflection, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
God is everyone. When they say God is in you.
Yeah, and now also,
that's the one thing maybe you could take away from church.
Yeah.
God is in you. And everyone's like, no, but like, God is so God, like he does all these nice things, he's perfect. No, if God's a reflection of us, he's also a piece of shit like us. Like, he is a human, how can he have no bad traits?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, unless that he made humanity so he can look at his own reflections of himself and learn and heal to see how he can overcome the shadow side of himself.
Exactly.
Yo, what if we were just created so God can figure out how to not be a shitty person?
Oh my god. This is
all just a fucking, like, huge, just, like, self-mirroring fucking...
We are his therapy session.
Yeah, we are God's therapy session.
No.
That's so fucking funny. But what if that's why we're all healing and stuff like that? Like, that's why, like, our main purpose is to heal here on this earth.
The way that we also get therapy.
Yeah, it's just like...
What the fuck, then?
What if when we heal ourselves... What if when we heal ourselves, we heal God?
God is down bad. He needs more help than me. I feel like I'm not doing that good of a job for him.
That's so fucking funny.
He's gonna have me be one of his fucking light workers. Bitch. You're screwed.
It's so funny.
When people always joke, God saves his strongest battle for the hardest battle for his strongest soldiers. And I'm like, does he think I'm a strong soldier? I can't do this legwork.
Yeah, it's just like,
what the fuck is this?
Who the fuck am I? Why?
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, who's like, who am I? Why me? I'm just a random fucking dude. Like, out of everybody on this earth. Like, it's weird.
It is weird.
There's so many fucking things that's just, like, happening in this universe.
Truly. And we'll never know about more than half of them. Even
Maybe we will.
When?
Right now.
Yeah, you're like, let me crack open this book.
Me...
If everyone flips to page 34, we shall.
I shall start my lecture
Today we will.
What I learned in boarding school is...
Blankety, blank.
Yo.
That wasn't supposed to be a good impression, by the way. That was a really shitty impression. I was just quoting the show.
That's fine. Yo, by the way, side thing, you could see, like, the ring. I don't know what that is, but you see that hue?
Ooh.
White thing that kind of, like, goes, like, around that way. I don't know what it is.
Yo, yeah. I do see
No, yeah, you see that shit, right? I'm not, like, tripping.
We're in a hamster ball, and you can see the crack of it. We get sucked into another universe when it opens.
Yo, that would be fucking crazy. And that's what, like, keeps all of our laws of physics.
Die.
Yo, that would be crazy, like, if it, like, seeps in and, like, we get fucked up. What if it's, like, within that this hamster ball is all of our laws of physics. But once we go out of this hamster ball into another hamster ball, they have other laws of physics. But it's trapped within that hamster ball, you know? But then once you go outside the hamster balls, it's just kind of like empty space. It's just like the fodder between worlds, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just chaos.
The apocalypse will ensue when we are exposed to the answer. So at the cost of getting the answer is everyone's lives and the rest of humanity. So it's like, is it worth really answering these questions?
Wait, what? Repeat this. Repeat this.
I feel like in order to figure out whether or not this was a simulation, like, that would have to be when the world ended, when everything was exposed. So was it really worth our lives and the entirety of humanity and what we could have become to find out the answer of what we've been doing this whole time? It's literally Schrodinger's cat.
Once we find
have to open the box, but, like, opening it, like, ends it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like either the cat is dead or the cat is not dead. Like, they're both true, because, like, we don't know yet. So right now, everything we're thinking of is true. Everything that, like, we're thinking valid. It could be it, but we'll never know until it happens, and when it happens, it's over.
Yeah. It's weird. Unless we just... Unless we get a choice. When we find out the information, it's like we keep living. We get a choice as a humanity, or as like an individual. Like, you're like, actually, no, I don't co-sign that.
Yeah, it's like we keep living with the truth that we ended. I will miss the apocalypse. Thank you.
But the apocalypse doesn't mean like the literal physical ending of existence. According to the Buddhist traditions, they see it as more of like a mental. Like the breakdown of a belief system of society, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't mean that we're all gonna die. It means that, like, all of us as a society will collectively tear down what was the old and then rebuilds it in a new society. I think at that point, God just might wipe us clean and start over from scratch. Because he's like, if these humans needed this to show themselves that they had to step it up and they couldn't follow their own signs and other signs I was giving them, he's like, let me just get a new sim world. And this is when he opens the next simulation. Sims 4. I feel like I really don't like... I mean, there's a few thoughts, like, I find myself going back to when my mind wanders. But, like, I don't think about these things like, just, like, all the time. I mean, sometimes I do. I never thought about, like, answering the questions and bring on the apocalypse and fucking, like... Probably. Like, how can you live life after that? Then that's what they say. It's like you can't go back. It's like you can't go back to sleep after you wake up. That's what they say. That's why a lot of people are afraid of waking up, because they can't go back to sleep. Like the amount of shit people would do if people think that nothing matters and we're in a simulation. They're like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna steal, I'm gonna commit crime, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Like, we created these things for us, so we have to uphold it. But if we learn that it's just a stupid fucking game and we don't have to uphold jack shit, we're not gonna. So I feel like some people won't, but some people will.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, I feel like that's when we would, like, make a break. That's when us as a collective humanity will have to be like, yo, we either have to all band together or we're gonna split. And then some people will probably... Maybe that's what what is it called? The fucking, when some people get the rapture. What if that's what it is? Some people get left here that they want to, like, live and be chaotic and stuff, and some people want to fucking just go on and evolve and be the next being.
Damn. That would suck if we couldn't come to an agreement, but I literally can't see the human race ever coming to an agreement, so... People are weird.
But I also feel like that's just the way that the universe is naturally set up. Because, like, what if the whole universe is naturally set up just to evolve itself? Like, that's why there's a yin and yang, just the push and pull. It's like it constantly, as it's living, it's constantly evolving as it's living and breathing every second. So it's constantly getting better and better and better and better. So that's why there's, like, the yin and yang, like, set up as its, like, main thing. Because then nothing would really matter if there was no light or dark, you know? Like, everything was good. Would anything really be good if there's only good?
No, because we wouldn't be able to compare it.
Yeah, because there's nothing compared
How
to.
can everything be good? Like, what does good even mean anymore?
And it's like, it doesn't mean that it's, like, bad. Like, it just means that it's just a different thing, you know? Like, yin and yang, it's just two different perspectives, but you need both perspectives for those perspectives to exist.
Damn.
And there can't be one perspective, because unless you just morph those two perspectives into one perspective, and that's what the next step is supposed to be. I don't know.
And you just you have to add more perspectives though, because you need comparison.
Yeah. Unless we just live out that perspective for a little bit and then we just figure out the next perspective, you know.
So that means that wherever we are now is something we had to have settled upon a while ago. I guess I could see that because, like, our morals and values, like, shift over time.
Yeah,
so it's like there's a general shift of what's accepted in society and culturally normal.
Yeah, literally, because, like, we've come so far already.
Like, if we decide what's right and wrong, we can decide anything. We decided what's good and bad. There has to be both, but we still decide which is which.
And it's our perspective. Yeah, it's our perspective.
Like, there's no universal good or bad, I don't think. Like,
it's what we see it as. We
created rules and laws.
Yeah, the universe is chaotic. We just made different things to make sense of it. It's like time. It's like time doesn't exist. It's like we only created time so we can have a tether in this universe.
Yes.
So we can make sense of this chaotic shit of whatever's happening.
We feel touched
so we can have some specific type of order. But that wasn't, like, built into the universe already. It's like we made that. Mm-hmm. It's like we are all just collectively coming together to have one belief in this thing. Like money. It's like money doesn't actually, like, fucking matter. It's like we all come together to believe that it actually matters so we can have some sort of, like, fucking
so we give power to it. If we tell it it has power, it does.
Yeah, it's like
whatever you believe is true. Whatever you see is there.
Intent is everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you intend this thing to have some specific type of currency that will uphold society, then everybody will get together and say, yes, it will. Mm-hmm. Because everybody is believing in that one thing, because that one thing represents more than what it is.
Exactly.
Because then at the point, it's just like, is the actual physical thing important, or is just the thought important? And it's just like, if the thought's just important, then why does everybody need to have money? Mm-hmm. It's like, at that point, then why can't everybody just have money? And then at the point, it's like, what the fuck is the point? You know, like, it's just like, take it away. It's like, what?
It's like what people
say.
It's like
we all just made this power dynamic just to make life interesting, because if we didn't have it, then what the fuck is the point? Everything is just a drama. Everything's just dramatic.
Exactly.
I feel that maybe that's why people crave drama so much. It's because life's boring, so they just make it fucking interesting.
Oh, I know for a fact people do that. I know so many people who do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, your life is kind of boring, but the people you obsess over and, like, or the things you get yourself into make it more exciting.
Yeah.
Because there's some people who, like, unfortunately have to deal with shit, but then there's people who start that shit, you know? Someone has to create that shit that's being dealt with.
I have another thing about aliens. So if God made us, then does that mean God made all the aliens too?
Yeah.
So that means we're literally all just like humans.
So they're all reflections of him.
Yeah. So does that mean that if we meet aliens that we get a new perspective of God?
Yes. I guess so.
Maybe that ties into the thing of my purpose thing of like when we meet other aliens, it'll amplify our purpose. Because then we get to see another perspective of God, so then we get to incorporate into us, so then we get to evolve too, and then they get to also evolve too, because they get our perspective.
I wonder if we'll ever get to see it in our lifetime, if it does happen.
But
like, I
was thinking about
what's the timeline for like the shit we're talking about? Like,
I feel like it's just so soon. I feel like everybody
we've
like
seen so many UFOs.
I feel like it's so soon. I feel like shit's gonna happen soon. But I also was thinking about our purpose as humans. Because, like, you know how, like, we call ourselves human beings?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if that's our purpose? Like, what if that's the name? Like, what if that's the thing? Just being. Like, what if that's our goal? Just being here. Just experiencing life and Earth and just experiencing, like, everything that it has to offer. Like, what if that's the goal? Like, what if our existence is literally to just exist?
Then am I even doing a good job of that?
Yeah, it's like we just are here just to like chill. And that's why the Buddha maybe is just like such like a fucking icon, because he just says just like, yo, just let life just be. What do you think that humanity's purpose is?
I think to just like see what we're capable of. I think that whoever is watching is just watching. I don't think they're an active participant. Maybe sometimes there are things that people are like, oh, it's divine intervention. So that means that this isn't a new idea of thought. Like, if divine intervention exists, that means that that's the only time he intervenes. The rest of it is free will. And that only those times is that those things were fate or destiny because he wanted it to be. That's like when God like moves some pieces around on the board and he's like, all right, like, this is what's happening. I'm lining it up for you.
It's
Don't
like, now
fuck this up. You have to have this.
Yeah.
And I want to know, like, is it for him? Or is it for our benefit? Or actually, sometimes there's things he might do that are divine intervention that are bad. He's like, all right, this person needs to have this person die for character development.
Yeah.
Like, this person needs to be in a shitty relationship so they can, like, evolve. Like, shit.
Jesus, he just fucking flexing this shit over here. This girl next to me just has her fucking leg over her shoulder while she's just talking casually and shit.
And what about it? Like,
it's just
this
interesting.
is so comfortable to me. I never can sit the right way.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's interesting.
Oh.
Like, it's just funny. Like, you're just talking all this stuff and you just have, like, your leg over your shoulder just chilling. You're like, yeah, this is what I think that life is, you know, like.
Nothing is more funny. Me than sitting like that.
It's fun.
It really is. Iconic. Me anytime.
So, do you think that... Wait, so what if God, like, literally, like, really loves humans and stuff like that? Like,
then you better be better at it. How you gonna love me and be shitty?
But, like, what if it's, like, it looks like that it's shitty, but it's not? Like, it's, like,
he's like, it's like
tough
some
love,
plan. You need this, trust
it's like a plan. Like, everything is, like, a plan. Like, what if deadass, he's, like, each individual person, he's, like, deadass watching over? And, like the amount of love that, like, goes in each one, like, that would be insane. That one being. Unless that, like, God is an energy and that's how he spreads out to all the people at once. You know? he doesn't have a body to trap himself in, because that means he's only one person trying to do a lot of shit. So he just like doesn't have a body, so he can just
like the scale he would have to exist on is so massive. But if he's just like an entity, he can do anything.
Whoa, that's crazy. What if God is literally just an energy and he just chooses to be an energy so he can like hit more things simultaneously?
That's a convenient form to be in.
But what if that's what dying is? What if that you're just releasing
we all contribute to that energy?
Yeah, like what if we all just become the one big collective energy to spread to help other humans and stuff like that?
And then divine interventions, maybe when he zaps one of his souls out of himself into the world, and that's when that soul goes back in the earth.
Yeah, oh shit.
We all take turns being part of God.
Whoa. But like, what's the point? Like, if we're all like, what's the point of being in the physical? If we all can see everything.
When we're put back on the earth, we don't know this. Because then you and I would know this if that theory was true, and that was correct.
Mm.
When we're born, we're still back to a baby. Babies don't remember shit.
Yeah, because maybe it's like... Yeah, maybe it's like getting a new computer and like you just like get it and it doesn't have all like the information from your old computer.
Yeah.
But like you have a USB, and what if your USB is a soul, like your soul's a USB, has all your backed up shit on it. But sometimes if you don't know how to back up your shit on it, it gets lost. So then every time you like fucking come back into the certain incarnations, you don't have those like previous like files to like go back off of and upload onto your new computer.
And then anytime you remember something, it's like your past life. This would really affirm, you know, those people who wake up from a coma or like get into an accident and they wake up and they have a whole entire different like accent, or they speak a different language. Like, how can someone who's never fucking learned German speak fluent when they wake up?
Yeah.
And they must be tapping into some alternate like life.
Unless we're just born with everything at once, and then where we are is just like we're just selected that specific knowledge.
Because we had to invent, like, a language like German years and years after the world was started. So it's like you can't be pre-programmed to know that. That has to come from someone who knew that.
Yeah, unless that is just, like, a fucking, like...
So it had to be a soul that knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, like, his soul incarnation now got knocked out, so he had to like do a backup from a previous incarnation to like come out into this one. What if that when we get incarnated into this earth, like we're born with all knowledge at once, but depending on where we are, like there's specific things that get turned off.
So
when
like
we're
DNA,
growing up, we only
like
have
some things are dominant and some things are recessive traits. So it's like thoughts can be dominant and recessive. So that means that we would all have the same thoughts.
Yeah, that's what.
We just wouldn't be aware of them all.
Yeah, because we have different things.
And I guess your soulmate is the person who has similar things turned on and off than you.
Or maybe they have the opposite things that are like what you have
Opposites
turned on.
Attract? I don't know about that.
Like what if?
Like attracts like, baby. Things in common.
Like,
so then what are you going to talk about? I like to bond. Humans love to bond. See themselves in other things. Because humans are very selfish. They only think about themselves. So anytime they look at someone else, they're thinking about themselves. The more they can find of themselves, the more they're going to like it. That's how humans are. That's why a lot of couples look similar. Because they want to find themselves. They're so narcissistic. They want to be with themselves.
Yo.
It's true. You look for yourself and others.
Yo. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yo. Guys, the universe is like giving us a fucking signal, dude. The fucking car alarm is going off. The alarms are going off.
Oh, it's
And right after I said it, it says...
They're like, yep, we are going off. And we're off.
Yeah, and we're off. Yo. That's some fucking tea, though. Literally. That's it. Yeah, that's wild. Like,
bro,
I'm like just like thinking about a bunch of past shit now, and I'm like, whoa. Because I always said, I'm like, relationships are like the biggest test of yourself. of like seeing yourself. It's like you grow more as a person in a relationship than like, you know?
Yeah, and it's like you're any relationship. It's not just like romantic. Like it could literally be any relationship.
Yeah, so what if that whole theory of like God trying to work himself out is true and like we're just reflecting that? Yo! What if we're just reflecting that? Since we're created in the image of God. Donna. Yeah, like, yeah, like, what if we're just doing that? What if we're just finding people who look like us just so we could fucking figure out and, like, or it's like a one...
We're like, hey,
life is just
up?
Life is just one huge catharsis of ourselves. Of trying to become one perfect being by working ourselves out through other people.
Honestly, I don't doubt it.
That would be very interesting. And then once we become perfect, we wake up out of the Matrix. We're like, yep, and I'm done with this simulation. And then we hop into another one, and then we go into another one, and we forget everything about that, and then we learn everything we need to learn about that situation. We come out and we're like, and then I learned everything about that situation. I'm going to go into this one. Is there any closing regards?
Willpower is real, y'all, but sometimes God helps you out.
Willpower is real. He's on the Wrath of Aquarius podcast.
Ayo, what's good,
Will's,
God?
That's literally my nickname for Will. I'll literally show you. A dead ass. Hold on, I'll literally show you on my phone. That's his actual fucking nickname. Willpower.
Okay.
Willpower exists.
Okay. He's real. I hope he feels
real.
valid.
We always say if there's a will, there's a way. And he has the willpower. So.
So?
Yeah, exactly. So. God is us and we are God.
That is what we've learned here today.
That is what we've learned here today.
Crazy.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
That might ruffle some feathers for some people, but...
Oh well.
well.
Fucking well. This is the truth. I feel like that's a pretty, like, out of all the things said on this podcast, that one rings, like, pretty true. I feel like after saying it, sometimes I say it, I'm like, ooh, these are hypotheticals, it's so fun to think about, but I'm like, nah, this one's pretty fucking legit.
Yeah, it's just like, sometimes you just say shit and you just like, yo, that actually, like, kind of, like, resonates.
Yeah.
Or, like, it literally resonates. It's like, whoa. But it's just like, open your mind and listen to a differing opinion and see if it resonates with you. And if it resonates, then act upon it. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't resonate, then it doesn't resonate. And that's okay. Because everybody's on their own paths and everybody has their own perspectives, and that's why we're all here.
They should only care about their own because they can only change their own. They need to stop trying to change everyone else's.
Exactly. It's like you can't change everybody else's opinions. You can only change your own. And I'm not trying to change anybody else's opinions. I'm just putting different opinions out there for people who are curious to have, like, who are curious and have an open mind, you know?
We're putting the food on the table, but we're not making them eat.
Yeah, it's like you can only bring the horse
to...
Yeah, you can only bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it.
Yep.
Or, I like what you said better because I like food. But it's just,
yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, take what you need from this podcast and any podcast that we do, and I don't know. Yeah, listen to your soul and whatever resonates.
I agree.
So yeah,
you do have power.
We do have power. God wants us. No. I'm just kidding. But yeah. So this has been the Wrath of Aquarius podcast. I have been here with
Donna Burawa.
And I've been your host, Matthew Sicilia. And this concludes this episode. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for listening. I'm sorry, I'm awkward as fuck, but let's fucking go. Bye.